Hi friends, are you looking for a quick and easy back to school hairstyle? Look no further, I have the perfect style for you. I got you. This took me no more than 20 minutes, and as a matter of fact, I loved it so much I did my own hair like this, and my 12-year-old loved it so much she wanted her hair like that, and it was just a quick and easy style to do for back to school. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we get into the video, I'd like to thank Factor for sponsoring today's video. Now, Factor is the best way to have fresh, never frozen meals delivered straight to your doorstep. It takes the stress out of having to meal plan, out of having to go grocery shopping to make sure you have every ingredient, and to just have a quick and easy, delicious meal. You have the meal ready for you in 2 minutes. Especially with it being back to school, we have a lot of things on our plate right now, and you can definitely take meal planning and grocery shopping and all of that off your plate with Factor. Like I said, it's a delicious meal ready for you to just pop in the microwave. Factor is cheaper than takeout, and to be honest with you, it tastes a lot better. And they have all different types of meals that you can think of, everything from Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, Vegan and Veggie, and so many more. There's over 60 add-ons every single week, like breakfast and on-the-go lunch and snacks. We personally use Factor as our lunch meals, my husband and I, and sometimes our kids even like to eat them as well. And it just cuts down on us having to constantly go grocery shopping for our lunches since we both work from home. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50GIA to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off next month of orders. That's code 50GIA at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. So before I get started on the style, I actually had to take her braids down that they had, that she had this summer. Both of my girls swam on 2 different swim leagues this summer, so I kept their hair in braids the entire summer. She had these braids in for quite a while. I'd say it'd be between like 8 to 10 weeks. As you can see here, I'm just taking them down, and I like to take them down and detangle as I'm taking them down. I don't like to wait until all of the braids are out because it's just too overwhelming for me and for her because she's got a lot of hair. It's very, very thick. It's very long, as you can see, and I can't cut them real short to take them out. I just take them out and remove the lint, and I'll show you a more detailed process in a minute of how I remove the lint. As you can see here, the lint buildup wasn't too bad, again, because they swam every day, but it's still in there. No matter what I do, my girls, for some reason, they just attract lint in their hair. And it's not really just lint, it's like dust, air particles, everything else just gets caught up in the braid, where the braid gets started. And so I'm gently kind of separating the hair and removing the lint with that detangling comb. I bought that detangling comb from Dollar Tree years ago. Never saw them again. I saw them once at a Dollar Tree. I bought 2 of them and I never saw them at another Dollar Tree again, but it is seriously my favorite comb to detangle. I will try to link a product if I could find one similar on Amazon. Everything I use will be linked in the description below. But see, as you can see here, her hair, like I said, is pretty long, and I like to detangle it section by section. I use Rempure conditioning, a big bottle of conditioner, because I use so much of it when I take their hair down. It's a huge bottle. You can get it from Walmart, you can get it from Amazon. I really like the product a lot, and it's affordable. And so I like to spray her hair down with a little bit of water and then work the product in from the root all the way up to the tip, and then I take a comb and I detangled very gently, as you can see, starting from the bottom and then working my way all the way up at the top. Now, it may seem like I'm doing a lot, but see, the thing is, this saves me so much time in the shower and tears from both of us in the shower if I try to just wash her hair while she's in the shower. Absolutely not. She just has way too much hair to try to do that. And in the shower in one go, even if I separate her hair into 4 sections, it's still way too hard for me to detangle it without her crying. She's incredibly tender-headed, so I have to be very, very gentle with what I'm doing and how I detangle her hair. But yeah, that's what I do. I just take a little section like this. I will detangle that one section, and then I will twist it up and put it away and move on to the next. It does take a little bit longer, but honestly, I've been doing it like this for so long. Okay, y'all, it's the next day, and I went out this morning and
My husband and Zara took some braids out. They don't detangle when they take the braids out, which is fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and detangle this top part now. This is all we have left, which is nice. Which is great. So I'm gonna go ahead and detangle. This is a good way for you to see all the lint build up. Like I said, we've been swimming every day, which is helpful with the lint. But sorry, Ava's iPad is so loud.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. Thank you, Ava. Okay, I just break it up like this. And separate it. I'm just trying to get the big clumps of lint out. I don't really comb through it. Trying to shake it all out. See, just if you can separate it, the more you separate with your hands, the less it hurts. Ava is incredibly tender-headed, very, very, very tender-headed. So I try to be as gentle as I can be. Again, we're not detangling, we're just
Are we gonna wash my hair?
out. Yes.
No. Today?
Yes.
No.
All right, let me continue.
So here I am just continuing to take her braids down and to detangle. The key is to detangle as you go. Do not wait, because if you have a lot of hair, if your child has a lot of hair like Ava, trust me, it is a nightmare. So yes, I'm just continuing to take her braids down. It didn't take me long either to do this. So after I took her braids down, I washed and deep conditioned her hair, and then I put it into 6 sections, and I just did these big braids, as you could see there at the top, and then she went to bed. I always do her hair like this. I never just blow dry her hair from it being wet, because I find that it just adds extra stress to the hair, and it's better for me to just stretch her hair out and let her sleep on it like that. I have these little hair towels that they sleep on. And once their hair is fully stretched out, like it is here as you see me taking the braids down, it takes no time for me to blow dry her hair. Because at this point, I'd say it's not fully dry. I'd say it's about maybe 60 to 70% dry. Well, more than that, maybe 70 to 80% dry. It's still wet within the braid, but most of it is dry and it's already stretched out. So I don't have to use the heat to really stretch her hair out. It just naturally does that. This is the leave-in that I like. Alake Naturals. I've been watching her on YouTube for well over 15 years. Love her stuff. I like to spray this leave-in on her hair and kind of work the product in. I smooth it out, I rub it in just to make sure it really gets onto every strand. And then I'm going to take this heat protectant. I like this heat protectant too. I tested it before on a Q-tip. I sprayed it on a Q-tip and then I lit the Q-tip on fire, and the Q-tip did not catch on fire. That's how you know if your heat protectant really works. I like to spray it all over, especially on the ends, but I don't spray too much, but I especially make sure that I spray it on the ends of her hair. Now, I love this blow dryer. This Revlon paddle brush blow dryer changed the game for me. It makes it so easy and so quick to blow dry Ava's hair, because out of all of us in this house, Ava absolutely has the most hair, and she, like I said, is the most tenderhead.
Parting her hair in half, as in the middle as I can get it. Yeah, it's hard because she just has a lot of hair, and sometimes it's just hard for me to get it perfect, but it's not gonna be perfect because I'm not a professional hairstylist, but it will be good enough. I don't like to put a whole bunch of stuff on her scalp either. So I'm just gonna clean it up as much as I can. Okay, this is about as clean as it's going to get here. I did use a little bit of the Magic Fingers Shiny Jam. So now I'm gonna braid, I'll part the other parts. All right, I got my hair set up. It's kind of crazy. I have my light here. And I put a little bit of Shiny Jam on the tips of the curly hair that I'm gonna be adding. And then this is the braiding hair I'm gonna be adding. I parted her hair because it's gonna be 4 braids. And now I'm just gonna cornroll it. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of the Shiny Jam on to like kind of lay the hair down the way I want it to, and then we'll braid it. So again, I will link all the products that I use in the description box down below, or either in the YouTube shopping products section. I really like this Magic Fingers. This was my first time using Magic Fingers Shine and Jam. I typically would use the Shine and Jam that comes in the yellow container, extra hold, but I liked this one because it wasn't too thick. Like I said, Ava's skin is very sensitive. I don't like to put a whole bunch of stuff on her scalp because I just don't think her scalp can breathe well, and I like to put oil on her scalp. So, but this is good to use on the hair to just lay the hair down. And I had to use a lot of it to just kind of lay the hair down because I wanted the braids to look as neat as possible. I always start with parting in the middle, and then I braided two braids on each side to make 4 braids in total. Now, when I did my hair, I did 6 braids, but the girls just wanted 4 braids. They originally wanted 2, and I was like, no, that's just too thick. I'm not that good of a braider. They have too much hair. So I was like, let's just do 4 and see how it goes from there. So again, I'm just smoothing the hair down very, very gently. I'm very gentle with her edges in the back. I'm very gentle with her edges in the front. And so I'm just smoothing the hair down with this Magic Fingers Shine and Jam. And then I take my small tooth comb and kind of work the product in the hair with that comb. Now, I'm not combing her hair all the way through, of course, not with that small comb, but I'm just kind of combing the root out to lay it down so it makes it easier for me to braid. Y'all, I am not an amazing cornrower. This is not a tutorial video where I'm teaching you how to cornrow. There are way more talented women here on YouTube that can show you that. So if you want a basic tutorial on how to cornrow, just search that in the search bar. Here I'm doing her edges with my edge brush here. Like I said, very simple, just laying it down. I found that the key to doing this is to really start small up at the top of the braid. You start with the small section and don't start too far back. You want to start right at the edge where you want that braid to start, small section, and then you just braid. Keep braiding like maybe 2 or 3 rounds before you start picking up any hair. That's what I found worked best for me. Again, y'all, I'm not a professional. I have been doing my girls' hair for a long time. And as they grow, my skills do grow and I start experimenting and doing more things. I did feel like this intimidated me a little bit when I first attempted this style, but then I was like, you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it's neat. Nobody's gonna be in my child's hair like examining every little stitch to make sure it's perfect. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna compare myself to the professionals that I see on Instagram. Their stitch braids are just so beautiful. I just wanted mine to be neat enough for her to like them and for me to like them and for, you know, her to have a cute style. Again, this took me no time to do at all. It was just 4 braids. The key for me with cornrowing is to make sure that you don't confuse the hair, meaning you can't, once you separate it into those 3 sections, don't take a little bit of hair from another section. Keep those 3 sections very, very separate because that's when it starts tangling and then it starts hurting and Ava will be like, ow, mommy, because I'm not keeping it straight. And it actually is harder the more hair you have to make it look thick. I should have added a little bit more Shiny Jam to her hair as I was braiding, but I was just trying to focus on braiding. I did add, this is my first time ever cornrowing and adding hair, synthetic hair to the cornrow. I did that because I didn't want it to get thin, you know, because I wanted to add length to it, obviously, and I didn't want it to get too thin as I added the length. So I just added a very little hair because, like I said, Ava's hair is already pretty thick and I didn't want the cornrow to be too thick. So I only added like 3 pieces of synthetic hair
to the actual cornrow, and then I added more hair after I finished the cornrowing part and just started braiding at the end. So here I am just braiding, again, making sure I separate those 3 sections because you don't want to confuse that hair. That's when it starts getting tangled and stuff, and stop looking neat. So I'm just continuing to braid all the way at the bottom. When you get to the bottom, you have to be really careful not to pull that too hard, because that part of the nape of the hair is sensitive and can easily fall out, just like the top and the front of the edges and stuff. So I'm just being very careful. And now I'm adding more braiding hair again, because we're doing like 2 little buns in the back and I want it to be pretty long. And I'm adding the curly pieces as well. Again, this style is so quick. It took me no time for a change. Usually I'm sitting there doing knotless box braids for 2 days sometimes. So this was a nice, a different style to transition if you're tired of doing braids or your kid wants something different. And again, I think it's appropriate for all ages. It's just a really cute style. So again, I'm just adding more and more Shining Jam to her hair to just lay her hair down, or to tame it down so it doesn't get fuzzy or anything as I'm adding the synthetic hair and the curly pieces to the braid. This to me is the easiest part. And sometimes I mess up, and when I mess up, I just take it out, as you'll see in a second, and then put it back in. That's fine. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just wanted the hair to like kind of lay better. That's why you see me taking it down here and attaching it to the right side, to the right pieces. So sometimes it can get confusing, but again, I'm just braiding it all the way down. This hair is pretty long too. I think it's like 24 inches. And so I can't get anything less than 24 inches. One time I tried to get 18 inches and it just was not, her hair was barely, like, just made it to the end of the 18 inches. So I get 24-inch hair. But when you add it this low down, it makes it pretty long. So that's why I like to add the synthetic hair up towards the top. And then you can add the braiding or the curly hair at any point. Like, I feel like when I do this again, I'll add more curly hair closer to the nape of her neck instead of so down so far on the braid. And that's just something that I learned as I was doing it. And I probably would add more curly pieces. Now, is this style kind of swim friendly? It is swim friendly, but not with the curly pieces. The curly pieces did fall out when she went swimming with this style. Some of them fell out, especially the ones that are in the very front, as you'll see in a second me do that with her. The second braid that I did, I added a little one curly piece in the front to like fall down in her face. Those pieces fell out when they swam. And so, or actually not when they were swimming, when they were getting ready for bed, I think they pulled on it and it just came out. So, but the curly pieces in the back, they pretty much stayed in. But I would not do this style if your kid is going to swim or anything like that. And this style probably lasts, I would say, no more than a week to two weeks tops. And I braid it all the way down to the very end, because at the end I'm gonna put rollers and dip it in hot water.
Kind of braiding hair. I love it. It's very smooth and it's good for, it's water repellent and it dries really fast.
I love that braiding hair. That's the only kind of braiding hair I use on their hair. It does not break them out. It's not itchy. And again, it's water repellent. It dries very fast. Again, they swim competitively all year round. So that's why I use that hair. And see that one curly piece that you see her holding right now? That's the piece that like kind of falls in her face. And it's really, really cute, like I said. And I really didn't add a lot of hair. And you see how thick that cornrow is, because this is the thicker part of her hair. But again, I'm just adding the pieces and curling it down, and then that's it. This is the final style. I think it's so cute. It's not perfect, but it's so cute. It's adorable. We all loved it so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.